DOZHATOLDYA.COM.
And we live. Mic check, mic check. It's your boy Dame Doja, DOZHATOLDYA.COM. New interview series, the roll up. I think this one's gonna be the roll up 50 right here, man. I had to bring in my player partner, great friend of in the industry and outside of the industry. A lot of y'all may not know who he is. A lot of y'all probably do know who he is. If you do know who he is, then you've been on your job. You've been handling your business. But there's a lot of times people behind the camera don't really get the same amount of shine as the people in front of the camera. So it's understandable if some of y'all might not know who our guest is on today's show. But he hailing all the way originally from the bottom, the crib, you know what I'm saying, the 305, as Rick Ross might call it, M.I. Yayo, you know what I'm saying? That's also why me and his brother, whatever, seem to get along so much, because that's the crib for me too. But he can represent more than just the crib, represent that Charlotte, and he be holding it down for Duval too, man. You know, rap, edit, direct, videographer, photographer, businessman, and I'm just gonna throw shit talk on there too. But my boy, Beast Mode 305, man, aka HitMan Media, is in the building today with us on the roll up. Glad to have you, sir. Glad, you know what I'm saying, to get you over here to roll up something, a little something, you know what I'm saying? I see you didn't hesitate with that. You went ahead and got on started.
Yeah, man, glad to be here, man. Happy to be here. So we just gonna go ahead and set the tone off right, man.
Yeah, we got to set the tone off right with somebody, you know what I'm saying? I couldn't think of nobody better to set it off than you, my brother. So I appreciate you for being a part of it.
Appreciate you.
You know, usually we sit down and have a podcast. We talk about all these things going on in the world, but I wanted to start concentrate on some of those that are around me, man, that been doing their thing, that these folks should know, and help them know a little bit more. You know, just get a little more acquainted. You know what I'm saying, to what you do, and why you do it, and how you do it. You know what I'm saying, or whatever. But so let's go ahead and start from the beginning, man. Go ahead and give your intro. Let them know. I call you by your name, but you know what I'm saying? On here, you Beast Mode 305. But the business is HitMan Media.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so pretty much that's the way it goes. It's history in the making media. That's the business. That's the actual what we stand on. And it's not making like MAKING. It's making like my last name. So that's really the difference that you notice in it. Yeah, it's history in the making, but
MACON. I'm saying, I got it. Let me, y'all can see. Let me put it on the screen so y'all can see. History in the making, like Macon, Georgia.
Yeah, so you familiar with Macon, Georgia, or know how to say Macon, Georgia, and you definitely know how to say what's what put there. So, but yeah, man, history in the making media. Other than that, it's HitMan for short. Just kind of something me and one of my partners came up with, kind of make it a little short. So it's kind of, as you know, the HIT history, and the man is pretty much making but short. You take out the C and the O, so it's kind of HitMan. So
I mean, I just think you're a shooter. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and that's another thing. That's where it comes from too.
The special kind of shooter. You know what I'm saying? So you know, it works in so many different ways.
Yeah.
You're the special kind of shooter.
Work his way out.
Get the real good side of folks.
Yeah.
And hopefully they won't get the bad side of you.
Yeah. I mean, you know, we stay out the way, stay out of trouble.
So let's go ahead and get these folks, you know what I'm saying, basically a little synopsis of your upbringing, where you from. I already know that you was from, you know, down bottom, but
yeah.
Elaborate a little bit, because down bottom is a very, you know what I'm saying, very vast variety of places.
Yeah. So from the crib, everybody know that. You know it. Anybody who really know, you know, somebody say the crib, they talking about Miami. So pretty much a lot of upbringing was, I grew up around a lot of Hispanics and blacks. You feel me? Like my people's dreads. Other than that, grew up like Hispanic, played baseball growing up a lot. So Hialeah area, the Miami Lakes area. But outside of that, you got my cousins. They growing up out there in the subs. You got them growing up.
Brown sub. Shout out to everybody in the Brown sub.
Feel me? Shout out to Brown sub, 5'8" to 30th. You already know them boys held it down over there for a while. Feel me? Like other than that, you know, man, just kind of came up. You know, my mom, them growing up, they grew up like that in that city. Feel me? But once I became of age, you know, came born, the whole nine, moved up top. We'll still go visit grandma and all that down there, but, you know, old girl, and they kind of chunked the deuces and went on up top with it for real. So, trying to give me something a little different, playing baseball, the whole nine, which I spent a lot of my time growing up playing baseball.
Baseball, you kind of tall. You ain't play basketball?
I mean, I played everything, but honestly, like growing up, like if it's that one sport that you know you kind of played all as a jet, for me it would have been baseball, like from underhand.
What position?
Outfield. So I played anything outfield really, but it was mainly right field, left field. I always had the arm, so they always kind of wanted me to play pitcher, but for me, like growing up, I always felt like pitcher was too boring. That shit was boring. It's all that standing around shit. Like I'm active, but growing up now, looking back, if I'd have had the knowledge I know now, oh yeah, I'd have definitely took the fucking pitcher route. Cause guess what? I'm gonna stand my ass on that mound and make all this money.
In my baseball days, man, it was like, you know, you ain't really want to be in the outfield because nobody ain't really hitting it out there at first when you first start out. But then you start to realize some of your favorite players and some of the best players play outfield, play center field. You know, I was a Ricky Henderson fan myself, and I'm like, well, shit, he in the outfield. You know, I'm athletic, so I've learned to embrace being in the outfield and playing baseball. My dad had me doing that, but
like you got to think of like a lot of my baseball players that I kind of looked up to. My favorite, I would have to say, is King Griffey. Like Griffey Jr. was my all-time favorite. Like I looked up to Griffey. Like I envied not being left-handed because I couldn't stand up that plate and just have that shit looking sweet like that. Like I'm like, man, hold up. And my brother left-handed, so. But yeah, it was just like, man, Griffey Jr. We had a little bit of Dion out there. Feel me? You got fucking.
Some of the greatest.
Kenny Lofton.
Some of the greatest.
Gary Sheffield. Feel me? Like Sheffield, Lofton.
Barry Bonds played all over the outfield back in them days. Then he went on. A lot of folks might only know him for first base, but he used to be in that field, Golden Glove out there.
Yeah, so like people like that, that's the shit that kind of did it for me. But a lot of that shit, Griffey Jr. was the one for me.
So then later on, you said y'all, Mom Dukes moved up. When you say up top, you mean in the Carolinas?
Nah, well initially like my mom's still in Miami. She ain't never moved away. Like my dad's from Jacksonville, my mom's from Pittsburgh. Like originally born in Pittsburgh. My dad's originally born and raised in Duval with Eugene Butler.
Okay.
So like my family, my dad's side of the family is from here. Like feel me? Like I'm rooted here. Like been coming here since I was 3. Like I'm rooted. Like so.
What's one of your early memories, experiences, basically, was the first day you could think of when you came to visit Jacksonville as a child?
First thing I could think of with Jacksonville was probably, well, I got 2. One of them was snow. That was my first time seeing snow. Like, a lot of people don't know this, but it snowed in Jacksonville back in the 80s.
1989.
Right.
To be exact.
Yeah, so a lot of people don't know that shit snowed, and it's like I was here when it snowed. Like I was here that Christmas and all that around this time of year back then when it snowed. So I was outside in that shit. Matter of fact, I was over there in Arlington. Matter of fact, my uncle, God bless the dead,
trying to put together a snowman.
Yeah, literally out there in the motherfucker making a snow angel, looking stupid as shit. But yeah. That's what it was. And then another one was coming back and forth, fucking off with my cousin. Them at that time, they was old dancing, more dancing into like the popping and the booty shaking and all that shit. Back then it went by MC Chi-Chi, the Girls and Boo. But a lot of people don't know like MC Chi-Chi, that's Holly Monroe. Nah.
Okay, Chi-Chi, shout out to Chi-Chi. I got something on her, and she coming in to be a part of the Roll Up real soon. So, So she been performing up her whole life then.
Yeah, cuz been a performer like ever since like. People's like they got tapes of us like fucking in the living room over here over there off of matter of fact, Beaver on Baker Avenue. That's where my peoples grew up over there in Baker Avenue, right up the street from Zebo's. Right
yeah. So Pops is a Duval original.
Yeah.
But let's talk about how Charlotte came into play. Like basically, when was the time that you actually moved over to Charlotte? And you know, why did you?
At the time, Charlotte was a chess move, I would say. That's how it was for me. I was working for a company at the time, and they had 3 locations. One was Charlotte, Texas, and Miami. They were closing down the Charlotte and the Miami and Texas location. And anybody who kind of wanted to relocate and, you know, the whole 9, they would pay for them to move to Charlotte. So pretty much for me, you know, it came out, you know, looked at where I was at that time. Like, fuck it, you know what? I could always come back, but shit, I can't go again. So all last, hit it, went up there. They paid for my move, relocation, paid for the whole 9. But the only fucked up part about it, and I think for me, the biggest thing that I disliked about my move was when I fucking moved, the movers, they stole like 13 pairs of shoes.
Damn.
So that shit for me, like it even changed the way I like see sneakers and buy sneakers and shit now to this day.
Right.
And this shit was like 8 years ago when this shit happened, because I spent 4 years in Charlotte and I've been back in Jacksonville another like 4, you know. So it's like 8 years ago when I first moved, but that shit for me, like that shit put a salty taste in my mouth. Like,
you say the movers
yeah.
made off with 13 pairs?
Yeah.
Some folks don't ever even have 13 pairs of shoes at one time.
But see, them boys did it so slick though, and they was so finesse about the shit. Them niggas opened the box, took the shoes out the box, put the box back in, taped it back up and shit.
Oh shit.
So when I got it, like I'm holding the box, I'm like, yo, my box feel light as fuck. So I bust my shit open. I go in that bitch, I open this bitch empty. You know, you ever seen a movie where a motherfucker like go in their closet looking for shit and you just see shit just kind of choo, 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 choo. That's how the fucking boxes was for me opening that box. I'm like, what? Foo, foo, what? Foo, 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 foo. Yeah, I was just like, yeah.
Them boys sound like the wet bandits of the South.
I ain't gonna lie, whoever them fuck nigga was them, excuse my French, but you green ass niggas got away for real. I can't even lie to you. Them niggas got dead stock shit I ain't never put my feet in, shit I probably wore like 1 or 2 times.
But other than that, what good experience in Charlotte can you basically reflect on? Real
good
quick?
experience in Charlotte, man. Shit, for me, the whole being up there in Charlotte for me was a vibe for real. Like CIAA, that's something that people don't kind of like know about, especially like for us as black people. It's like a conference tournament type shit. Feel me? And for people who ain't never been, I would say tap in with that. It's kind of like, you know, you go to these other little cities and shit where they have these little black events or black little, you know, something going on. Feel me? You know, like Martin Luther King parade or something like that, but more of like it's yearly and you kind of know it's coming and it's something that's gonna bring the city up for real. So
and bring folks from up north, from down south, pretty much from all over the country.
Yeah, like for me, I ain't gonna lie. Like I guess one highlight for me in Charlotte was getting to see the baby perform before Food popped off the way he is now. Like Food was nowhere where he was right. Like the baby that everybody know right now,
yeah, ain't
the baby I saw in concert. Like it's the same dude, the same nigga. Like feel me, like it's the same guy, same hunger.
He must have been the fetus then.
Like he was like,
but he was big baby Jesus.
Yeah, exactly. But see, the thing was, he was eating back then. Even then, he just wasn't what you see today. But I ain't gonna lie, for
CIAA, they still were going to him, booking him.
Yeah, but look, even I ain't gonna lie, I was working in this club called White House, and I was shooting at the time, like doing pictures and shit like that. And I ain't gonna lie, they had him as one of the performing events one night. I ain't gonna lie, that boy sold that shit out. That boy had that bitch swinging. I'm talking about swinging. That's what kind of really tapped me into him. Like when he was Baby Jesus, I was bumping his shit. Feel me? Like I was playing his music, like up in Charlotte, riding around, bumping to his shit, like turned up. But that's one person like had they city lit for real. Like before they was popping and like okay. Yeah.
So you picked up the camera early. Like, which one you felt like you was working on first, rapping or that camera?
For me, they kind of came like hand in hand. So, but when I was in Miami, I was hanging with my dogs. It was a group of us. It was my nigga Ice Cold, my nigga Champ, Banks, and that's who really what it was is. So Champ was a cameraman. Champ always had the camera. Champ was always shooting. Champ was always doing his thing. Shout out to Champ, by the way. Champ was always the one with the camera, but Champ used to work sometimes. So what happened is sometimes me and G will hit Champ up, or I hit Champ. Be like, man, what's up with the camera? He be like, man, I'm working, but I got it with me. Y'all gotta come get it. So sometimes he'll be working and running his little route on work, and we'll go get the camera, go shoot. You know, niggas feel like they doing their thing. They get a little shirt, trying to pop their little brand off young and trying to do their thing. So out there trying to get your little model on, got your little shades and hat. Go looking back at those shit, be like, what the fuck was I doing? But it was branding back then, and that's really where it came from. Champ letting us hold the camera. Then from there, I kind of was messing with it then, but also me and my nigga Ice Cold, we was also rapping back then. It was like it was a couple of us. It was me, it was Ice Cold, and it was Money Mitch.
And this was in Miami.
Yeah, matter of fact, and Man Macaho, they call him Macaho. Yeah, shout out to Macaho.
Yeah, y'all boys was some pimps, bro.
Yeah,
Macaho, Ice Cold.
And really, what it was is crazy. See, Ice Cold was Ice Cold Ho. That was his IG tag and shit like that. It was Ice Cold Ho. Then you had Macaho. Then you had Big Banks. Then you had me, which was Beast Mode 305. Always been that. Yeah, and then we had Money Mitch. So
you been beasting these hoes.
Well, yeah, that's kind of.
I'm saying way before your boy Marshawn Lynch.
Yeah, I got people joke when I say that shit, but like when I say it's like, yeah, man, I kind of been beast mode before. Like that's just the name, like it's there. Like don't get me wrong, like Fool took the shit to a whole nother level on some football shit, but it's been there. Like, feel me, beast mode been there. Now it just turned into beast for short, just to.
So you already basically had the camera going, but you was in Charlotte working regular, like.
Shit, to be honest, man, I didn't buy the camera until I didn't buy my own camera until I moved to Charlotte. Like I didn't buy my own personal camera that was mine until I moved to Charlotte. I was working every day the whole nine. Bought my little camera, bought the kit, went to shooting, went there. And I used to go to these clubs. I used to go to like Onyx. Onyx was a strip club. I used to always fall off in Onyx. I used to always move around Dolo a lot, but I had a couple partners that was from the crib. One of my partners is named Story. Shout out to my nigga Story. He from Broward, Fort Lauderdale, feel me, back home. So me and him, he was another cat that went up to Charlotte from Miami as well. Another nigga, Dietrich, my nigga Spawn Jones, feel me, back from Miami. Feel me, he was up there, he moved away with me as well. So all of us, we kind of went up there. Another nigga, Andre, feel me. So we all kind of went up there and vibed the whole nine. But you know, we hung out, did the clubs, but from going in the clubs and like, you know, CIAA and shit like that, there was always this one dude I always saw in the club. He was always on every scene. Like I'm talking about all the hot clubs I'm in, Fool in there. Snapping up. You go to Fool page, Fool got all the Roy's. Excuse my friend, all the Roy's hoes. He got all the Roy's hoes on his page, taking pictures.
Yeah, you can cuss, man. We but you know, we try to keep it, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Try to keep it in the lines.
But yeah, you got like all the baddest hoes on it. Feel me? You got all live niggas in the city. Like anybody you wanted to kind of get in front of his camera to get like his picture. You feel me? Like get your picture snapped, kind of. So shout out to my nigga J Mart Photos, by the way, on IG. Feel me? One of the Charlotte Hots. But yeah, J Mart pretty much. I caught him one day and You know, I see him chopping it up with him. Now one night it was like a CIAA weekend, and we hanging out. We go to this club and shit. I forgot the name of the club, but it's right around the corner from this little breakfast spot. So we go there. We go after that. We leave the club, go to what they call Midnight Diner. It's called Midnight. So we go to Midnight. We in there. We standing in the line. Now, mind you, the line outside wrapped around. So we standing in that bitch talking. My dogs and boys got some ass, so they trying to haul ass. I'm like, man, I done stood in this line 20 minutes. I'm not going nowhere. Like, y'all got me fucked up. Like, anything I got waiting on me could wait. Boy, I done stood in this line 20, 25 minutes about this food. You talking about I'm feeling, no, she could wait. But food just so happened to be standing behind me in the line. J-Mart. So I go to chopping it up with him. Like, yo, whoop, I be shooting the whole nine. So food like, yeah, man, you know, come by the club. You know, we'll chop it up the whole nine. I'm like, all right, bet. So them boys end up leaving. My dogs end up leaving. They gone. So when I get to the front, the lady's like, how many? So shit, I look back at food. I'm like, man, you banging or what? He like, shit, I'm here. I'm like, man, fuck it too. He like, you sure? I'm like, man, fuck that. You done
Shit
stood.
just happened.
I'm like, man, you done stood in this line just as long as me.
Right.
Like, shit, them boys haul ass. Like, so we sit down, we chopping it up. We go to order and we eat. They say, you know, food, like, yeah, man, matter of fact, bring your camera to the club. I think it was like 2 days later. He was like, man, come to the club, bring your camera. Yeah, man. From there, like,
Gigged up.
Instantly. And got paid the same night and got paid every time since then. Like, and that's one thing, like, I got to salute him on is that we never talked about money. We never talked about finance, no nothing. But from the first time I went in there and shot, like, snap, end of the night.
Gigged up.
That boy, from there, it was weekly, every week. Every week I'm working my weekend.
And I can see why you would stick to the camera or whatever, because you ain't really seeing too many checks early on that rapping shit. In fact, that shit gonna cost you more money. So the camera gonna keep you in the mix and, you know, with some change coming your way.
And the crazy thing is, so I tapped in with rapping in Miami, stopped it. Went to Charlotte, went to shooting, got in with some dudes that was up there. They had the Music Factory. Music Factory had some studios and all that down there. NC Music Factory, the whole nine. So we go down there, I'm running in some cats. I'm back tapped in with the music, rapping again. But it's just like, I don't know. Like, rapping for me, it wasn't until I really came back to Jacksonville that I kind of was, you know, really jumping on the rapping. Because even back and forth, I used to come back and forth, Thanksgiving, different stuff like that. And when I used to come back and forth, feel me? My cousins used to be in there. Jim Bob, the whole nine. Shout out to Jim Bob, by the way, too. You feel me? That's who I kind of did a lot of my music with.
Yeah, we finna get on. We finna come on around that. Matter of fact, before we moving on back to the Duval part, I want to take a quick break, real quick. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna take a quick shot, pour up a little bit. I got some more questions I want you to answer or whatever, but I want to, you know, have a little fun, whatever. So y'all just lay around, just give me just a few minutes, whatever. Go get your smoking utensils together. I got to get up and get my lighter and whatnot and pour these shots. But it's the roll up with HitMan Media, history in the making. You know what I'm saying? It's his Instagram name, and we're gonna get a little more in depth into the rap. Beast mode or whatever, the rapper or whatever, and when we come right back.